not ignorance. The greatest enemy of progress is not ignorance, but the illusion of certainty. We have to sit on opposing sides, convinced that our perspective is the only truth. Note that history is not written by those who agree, rather, it is shaped by those who dare to question. Good afternoon, listeners out there. I am your presenter, Honorable Makuta Meliswale, and with me I have here our co-presenter,
Princess Naboizi.
With all this being said, it's your favorite Sunday program coming from Kallion Radio 105.7 FM, and this is ANGSLP. With me, we have our lovely panelists here with us today, in which we have various girls from Advocacy Network for Girls Sierra Leone Parliament, and we have one of our guests with us here that we will be introducing at the end of our programs. But before diving into the topic with that, let's just give a basic background about one of the guests that we'll be having today. And all that will be done by our co-presenter who goes by the name
Princess Naboizi. All aspiring presidential candidates, All People's Congress, APC, 2028 general elections, biography. As of 1st March 2026, Honorable Usman Singu is a prominent Sierra Leonean politician and a declared aspirant for the 2028 presidential elections under the All People's Congress, APC. He has built his political profile through public service, party mobilization, and advocacy on governance reform, youth inclusion, and institutional accountability. Over the years, he has positioned himself as part of a new generation of political leadership within the APC, emphasizing economic recovery, national cohesion, and structural reforms. His presidential ambition is anchored on promises of inclusive governance, economic transformation, institutional strengthening, and national renewal as Sierra Leone approaches the 2028 general elections.
Thank you very much, Honorable. And that was a lovely one. But listeners out there, before we get back to our fellow panelists and our guests, let's go for a short music break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, listeners. If you're just tuning in, this is Kallion Radio 105.7 FM, and I am your presenter, Honorable Makuta Meiswale, and my co-presenter here with me,
Honorable Princess Naboizi.
As you all know, it's ANGSLP, wherein we discuss on critical issues affecting girls in Sierra Leone and at large. With you all here, as I mentioned earlier, if you're just tuning in, note that you can send in your messages on +232 74 11 95 66. But let's get to our panelists as of now. So to our first, say hi to the listeners, please.
Thank you, Honorable Makuta. So my name is Honorable Emanuela Thomas from the Modernized School.
Thank you very much, Honorable Emanuela. So now to our second panelist, please say hi to listeners out there and introduce yourself.
My name is Zainab Ezra from the Providence International High School. Hi, listeners.
Thank you very much, Honorable Zainab. Yes, to our third panelist.
Good afternoon to all our listeners out there. My name is Honorable Franca PNN Thomas, and I'm attending the Annual Memorial School.
Franca Primrose. That was also a lovely one. To our last panelist, say hello to listeners, please.
Good evening, listeners. My name is Cecilia NF Ture, and I am attending the Modern High School.
Okay, Honorable Cecilia. So now we'll be going to our guest. So yes, sir, please say hello to listeners and just give them a brief.
Thank you very much. My name is, I'm in the midst of honorable members of parliament, so I'll introduce myself in the same capacity. I am Honorable Usman Timbo, a member of parliament for the Western Area Urban District under the All People's Congress political party. And I must also admit that for the first time in all the interviews I've done in my entire life, this is the first interview that I feel intimidated. I feel intimidated by your intelligence. I'm scared. I don't even know if I can really be able to do justice to the questions you guys are going to ask me. But let's see. I'm happy. This is what I've always dreamed of. And I'm happy to be with you today. And good afternoon, everyone out there.
So girls, as we normally do our sessions, So this is just an open one for the girls first. What do you think are the current issues that you're facing as of now in Sierra Leone? Honorable Primrose, do you mind trying, please?
Well, Leon, there are issues that has been discussed in Parliament that has been affecting girls for a very, very long time. But in some cases, they have been neglected because of one reason or another. Like, let's say when it comes to FGM, uh, it was a question I asked a politician personally. I don't remember his name, but he was in Parliament for International Day of a Child. We went to Parliament in collaboration with UNICEF and I think Kids Parliament and other child organizations. And I personally asked a politician about the um, why the discussions are being neglected according to my own observation. And he told me that in Parliament there are people who are who are based on cultural, who focus more on cultural laws and regulations, and there are others who really care about us. So for me, female genital mutilation is one problem affecting girls in Sierra Leone.
Okay. Honorable Emanuela, what's your take in that? That are affecting girls as of now in Sierra Leone?
Well, another problem affecting girls in Sierra Leone is cyberbullying online. As we all know today, social media is rapidly used by everyone, and so the content online these days are not friendly with us. But as of now, we see kids getting harassed, getting mocked, getting laughed at, and for me, it's one of, we're not killing, but a major problem affecting girls in Sierra Leone.
In that, as in one of the problems you think that are affecting girls as of now in Sierra Leone?
Like the shifting dynamic of teenage pregnancy. Teenage pregnancy rates are alarming high, with an estimate 70 to 80% of over 306,000 record birth involved teenage girls. However, the nature of this issue is changing due to successful campaigns like Hands of Our Girls. The traditional problem of older sugar daddies exploiting schoolgirls has declined.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, one of the problems I think are affecting girls in Sierra Leone is gender-based violence. Gender-based violence has been something that has been going on in Sierra Leone for, let's say, years and years that have passed and are going to come. But I feel like changes should be made to these gender-based violence. They shouldn't be sidelined, because some people who have traditional beliefs just sit back and say how, oh, that is how things are supposed to go. If she doesn't listen, you have to violently punish her for her to listen, because some people tend to have violent tendencies. So in my opinion, one of the issues affecting girls in Sierra Leone is gender-based violence.
Honorable Timbo, as you've heard from the girls what they said and some of the issues that are affecting us as of now as girls in Sierra Leone. So we want to know, what are the legal mechanisms that you put in place to ensure that such problems affecting girls as of now in Sierra Leone will be amended?
Very much. Like I said earlier, it's not like I have all the solutions to those problems, but I'm happy that you guys, as young as you are, have already identified these problems and you're bold enough to talk about them. These are issues that have been affecting our girls and our women folk for a very, very long time in this nation. And I also want to say that a lot of progress has been made, especially in the legal field. But I still believe that a lot more has to be done. We're talking about the FGM, the female genital mutilation. I'm a member of parliament, and quite recently a bill was passed into law which had to do with the Child Rights Act, including the female genital mutilation there. It wasn't quite properly dealt with. People were really disappointed because what the expectation was that it should be made illegal. However, people also need to understand that we as members of parliament, we're not just there on our own behalf. We're actually representing people, and that is why sometimes you need to have a fine balance, or understand the fine balance between representing people and actually your own personal stance. You know, many of the members of parliament actually hail from very traditional places. You know, like if you go to some villages in the provinces, they still believe that, I mean, it's not female genital mutilation, it's actually like circumcision. You know, many of them do not understand the effect of what they're doing, and the role of the parliamentarians and other governments as well as civil society organizations should be to actually educate these people about the dangers of this. Personally, I'm one person who believes that it should not be done to anybody below the age of 18. If we're going to stick by the culture and traditions, we also need to understand that some of these cultures are what inform laws. Laws are not just made in vacuum, they're actually made from the customs, traditions, and practices of the people. So anyone below the age of 18 should not be allowed to join um, those society, well, should not go through female genital mutilation as it is called, or bondo